Some of you have wisdom to share that is so insanely life changing and world changing. So, life changing for yourself and world changing for the world, for humanity. And yet, you hold yourself back from using your voice, from expressing, because you feel like it is not going to be validated or because there's no existing space for you to fill in. So when you start sharing and expressing that it's not going to lead to immediate results, as in like money or fame or any of those other resources that we are taught to be like obsessively attached to. This thing, this block, this mechanism essentially, this implant, you can call it, has been put into the psyches of some of the world's most powerful visionaries and healers and like builders of the new age. This implant, we'll keep using that word, it has been placed within your psyche to prevent you from doing what you came here on this planet to do, from sharing all of the wisdom that you hold within, from really being able to express that and pull that from outside of yourself so that it can have a place to live in the material, physical, shared world that we live in. The only way to remove this, like, first of all, I feel like if you are in any sort of spirituality community, the word implant can feel very like evil supervillain, like the something like outside of you came and implanted this within you, but it really isn't that intense. Essentially, I'm speaking about this implant as a belief system, and belief systems are actually quite easy to manually replace. People find it hard to manually replace because they don't have a trust in themselves, and they'll decide to update a belief system, but as soon as someone or something outside of them validates the old belief system, they immediately fall back into that old belief system because they don't yet have developed self-trust. But in reality, belief systems are quite easy to update. You just have to choose differently. So with this one, if the belief system around this context that we're speaking of, if it is my work, my perspectives are not valued in the world, if that is what you hold because you don't see people who are like you, who talk like you, who think like you out there really like receiving acclaim or prestige or whatever that you feel are markers of success, because you don't see them, you develop the belief, or you hold the belief that your work and the ways that you see and your contributions to the world are not valuable, that prevents you from making those contributions. And it's quite easy to update that belief. You just choose that that's just not, you just decide that that's not true. Okay, so we're actually going to do that together if you need an extra permission slip from me, from someone that is outside of you right now. So go ahead and close your eyes and locate where this belief system sits in your body. So for me, it was sitting in my solar plexus region, which is, if you're right here, place a hand in that spot. It could be your left hand or your right hand, it doesn't matter. And just start breathing into it. So you're now going to visualize a lightning strike. So it's not going to hurt when it hits this belief in that whatever area of your body that it was in. It is essentially a lightning strike of golden truth energy. And I'm going to count down from 5. And it's simply going to zap that implant, this belief, and immediately, like, what's the word? vaporize it. It's going to immediately zap that belief wherever it sits in your body and vaporize it. And then once it's done, it's done. And then you can move forward. I mean, we'll get into, let's do it first, and then we'll get into what that means and how we're going to be moving forward from now on. So go ahead, and if you had opened your eyes while I was speaking, you can go ahead and close them again. Make sure your hand is still in the spot. And I'm going to count down from 5. And we're going to count down to the golden light zap. Ready? So 5. Breathing in and out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Zap! And it's gone. You can feel it. You might feel an empty space. You might feel like the absence of what was there energetically in your body. That will dissolve over time, but it's done. It's literally done. Congratulations, you just vanquished, what's the word, vanquished? Vaporized it. And now what this means is that you are going to go forward, and all of those ideas that have been in your head for years, for your whole life, all of this wisdom that you hold, all of these thoughts that you keep to yourself, because you feel like the world isn't going to understand, the world isn't going to reward you, it's just going to be a waste of time and energy and life force to put these ideas out there, to put these energies out there. You're going to gather all of that, and you're going to come up with a plan for yourself that feels really good on how you can start moving these energies from within you out into the world. So for me, my plan, obviously, as if you've been joining me here on my YouTube channel, I am aiming to post like one of these videos every day. And some days it just depends on, like, I'm also honoring my body, and I'm not posting on days where I genuinely don't feel like it, but I'm aiming to post every day. Okay. And that aiming to do something is the structure that I'm holding. And then I check in every day if it makes sense and if it's aligned for me to record. Like on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday, I had a really big weekend. And so I decided not to film because I needed time to rest. But then on Tuesday, I checked in again yesterday, and I did have something to film, and I did want to film, like I was excited, and I did have energy to do so, and so I did. And so my daily YouTube videos are my way of taking all of this energy that I've accumulated within me over my life. And for so long, I had been holding in, fear of judgment, fear of all these things, but essentially going down back into that belief that we just zapped and vaporized. This belief that there's no point of me sharing this, nobody's gonna get it, nobody's gonna understand me, like I don't belong in the world, like my perspectives don't belong. Like that is what was blocking me from showing up in the ways that I desire to show up, and from taking these wisdoms that I hold in my body and my ancestors have passed down to me generationally. I just kept it in, and that's not good for your health. I actually noticed that when I started, there was a moment in like 2023, 2024 where I was not really sharing anything at all. Like I know I wasn't doing YouTube videos, but I also wasn't really posting on social media. I just wasn't really expressing myself or any of my perspectives. And I noticed that I started gaining weight. And then I noticed that a few months later, like when I started sharing again, I started losing the weight. And that was it's not like I had at the time really thought about or connected that me expressing myself is related to like my physical body weight or anything, but it was just an observation that I noticed that when I am not holding things in, when I'm letting myself express, when I'm letting energy move in me, move through me, move out of me, right? When I'm not talking, like speaking is the medium that I love, that works most efficiently to me. I love writing too, but speaking just really gets the job done at the pace that I like I enjoy. Writing is a bit slower. Anytime that I am not speaking, I notice that my body starts holding on to weight. And I interpret that as like a physical manifestation of the energetic buildup within me. Because if you're someone who thinks a lot, who would consider yourself like a modern day philosopher, you're meant to be sharing and putting your thoughts out into the world. And when you don't do so, or thoughts, ideas, it could even be like, I'm even seeing like paintings or artwork, or like art basically that doesn't have words. It doesn't have to have words associated with it. Like you're meant to be transmitting your essence, like the vibe of who you are. You're meant to be channeling your vibe into different mediums of creation and then putting them out in the world for people to be able to access. And the amount of people that access it, the money that you receive from all of that is almost in a way like, if you make that super relevant, that actually prevents you from doing the work that you're here to do. Because something that you'll find rings true for you as well is that you know that whoever is meant to receive whatever it is that you're putting out, they will receive it, and they will receive it in perfect, harmonized timing. So what that means is that you realize that you are part of a whole system, and that sometimes when for example, okay, think about how when you receive a powerful person's creation, and how oftentimes like the most profoundly impactful creations that you receive from another, they're happening in a timing that is just like perfect. It's like maybe you had just been thinking about that, and this like creation came forth in the perfect timing, and it's so extremely relevant to what you're experiencing, what you're going through, and it feels so synchronistic. That can only happen when you think about the fact that we're like individual parts in a greater system. And so when we allow ourselves to trust the timing of our work landing in the way that it needs to land, in front of the eyes and the ears of people who are meant to receive it, when we stop trying to control it and basically trying to like force our work down people's throats, which is both like depleting to ourselves because we're expending excess life force trying to do that, trying to control and like manipulate and all this stuff. But even on the other side, it's like it won't land in the timing and with the synchronicity that it's meant to land. And therefore, it won't actually have the impact that it's meant to have. So trust in your timing. I feel like there was like another loop that I was meant to close out, but I can't remember. Give me a moment. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. That loop is closed apparently. Yeah, just leaving it at that, leaving it at trust in the timing of your work, and trust that your job is simply to put your essence, your frequency, into different mediums of creation: videos, writings, pottery, paintings, drawings, books, like whatever it is, whatever mediums feel most exciting to you. You're just meant to do that. You're just meant to put it out there into the world. And basically, like, I'm seeing us like flooding the world with material of higher consciousness and higher knowing, and trusting that once the material is out there and accessible, people will find it at times where it makes the most sense for them, and it will land most impactfully for them. So yeah, that's everything today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. As always, I have my 2 membership spaces open. Golden Age Accelerator right now is going through its like seasonal shift. So it's like, it might change in the next, like the structure of it, the original vibe is going to be exactly the same, but the structure and like how that space is held might shift over the next few weeks. But with that kind of stuff, I really just wait for it to land. Like I don't force it. It's like I can feel that it's shifting, but I'm also not like forcing the shift. I'm just like letting the shift of it, and it's like I call it like metamorphosis, or I'm letting its evolution reveal itself to me. So yeah, that's everything. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I love you. I'm so proud of you. You're doing amazing. And if you are watching this and you do, like you are sharing, I would love for you to share your, wherever you're sharing your work, wherever it can be accessed. I would love for you to share that with us in the comments. Yeah. Bye.